Hi, you're listening to Light Lounge with Dimitri K, broadcasting around the world, award winners and emerging artists from the city beautiful Orlando, Florida. I'm reading a few paragraphs from a book called Biocentrism by Robert Lanza. He's rethinking space-time, consciousness, the world around us, but let's follow some of it. What we do observe, all this richness, is a deliberate spatio-temporal algorithm attuned to particular electromagnetic frequencies. Push your finger down on the tabletop and it feels solid. But no solids are ever contacted. Not for an instant, rather the outermost atoms of your skin are surrounded by negatively charged electrons, and these are repelled by the similar electrons in the table. The sense of solidity is illusory. You feel only repulsive electric fields, energies, nothing solid ever, and it all occurs within the detector mind, which imparts a sense of space, location, and time, which otherwise have no inherent reality. Later on, the author continues, the hard problem, which is actually a very simple issue despite its eluding general public awareness, is explaining how and why we have subjective experience at all, such as seeing and hearing. Somehow, according to science's mainstream view, the inanimate materials that comprise our bodies, carbon and minerals and electrical pulses, find a way to bestow on us the experience of feelings.
Well, I didn't see that coming.
An interesting topic, isn't it? What the author says is that the inanimate material that comprises our body cannot appreciate music, but our feelings can. And speaking about it, let's see who are our guests tonight.
Whoa, whoa, yeah!
With her unique blend of classic and contemporary sound, philosophical and clever lyrics, the singer Monika Ryan is our guest tonight to present her most recent release, Alive. Welcome to Light Lounge with Dimitri K. Monika.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction, Dimitri. It's a pleasure to be here with you today.
You're welcome, Monika. Let's start with your title song, Alive. album was recorded at various locations from the shores of Valencia, Spain. It seems each of them has given you a piece of its specific creative energy. Isn't it how it feels?
Yes, Alive was recorded in both Valencia, Spain, and in New York and New Jersey. The DNA of any creative project that has collaborators is the DNA of the creators, right? The emotional, the spiritual, the intellectual, the philosophical, the lived experience DNA of the people, of the artists, because that's what we bring to the art. And to be in Spain was to be immersed in beautiful Spanish culture. I adore Spain. I loved being there. This was my first time in Spain. And the art, of course, much of which I was familiar with before I got there, but being immersed in the art and the food and the music and the people, what an amazing experience. So this album was recorded with local musicians, and Sergio, who's originally from Brazil, lives in Valencia, Spain.
Sergio Pereira is a great guitarist, and he has been on my show as well.
And he hired local musicians in Spain. He hired Alice Cesarini on bass and Pancho Montanez on drums. And later on, I called our mutual friend Hernan Mila on piano. But the rhythm section are all Spanish. So they bring Spain to the table, and Rafa Sanchez on the mixing board and the recording over at Hive Studio in Valencia. They brought Spain to the table.
The food, music, and people, as you mentioned, definitely gives another ingredient to the album. And what about the other ingredient that is coming from New York?
I'm from New York. I'm a native New Yorker. I currently live in New Jersey, but I am a New Yorker. I did everything through college and through getting married in New York, and I now live not far from New York, but in New Jersey. And Keith and Augie, the horn players, live in New York. And so we brought all of our New York to the table. And that's in there. And Denise Barbarita, the mixing engineer and co-producer, she is in New York, as is Vinny Alfano, who recorded Keith's saxophone playing. And we also have a wonderful mastering engineers in Boston, Jeff Lipton, Maria Rice, and Costanza Tinti. So Alive is a melting pot, a cultural melting pot, and we all came to the creative process with our whole hearts to serve the listener and support listeners in really feeling welcomed to celebrate being fully alive.
I'm sure the listeners will enjoy the flavors coming from Spain and New York.
So I can rest. So I can rest. Knowing I did my best.
The lyrical philosophy, laid-back ambience and vibes of the album are cultivating the things that make us feel most alive. Was that intentional or a natural outcome of the project?
I've always been a philosophical person by both nature and nurture, and I've also always been an emotional person. I believe that our role here on Earth as human beings is to serve other human beings and ourselves, not ourselves above others, but ourselves with others, meaning if we are all, yourself, myself included, sort of expressions of divine, then to take care of each other and look after each other and support each other is an act of reverence for that which is divine, however you define it. So if my goal is to make the world a better place, one of the ways I'm best suited to do so is through my music. I know that I am a calming person because people have told me my whole life that I am calming. I'm also very philosophical, so I'm thoughtful. I know that too. I listen to people. I like to empathize with people and know their stories and be a supportive presence. It's something that's innate. I enjoy it. I'm also a musical person, so I use my skills as a musician and as an empath and as a calming force and as a philosophical person to create service-oriented music that is also fun to listen to. I think about what people need right now after talking to people and feeling my feelings and speaking to all the people I speak to all the time. And these days, after this last decade or so people are really worried and tired and disconnected from themselves to some degree. It seems like the treadmill is turning up. The stress level has been on high for many years, and people are fatigued. And when you're in a state of fatigue or in a state of anxiety about anything, it's very hard to feel alive. And we're here right now. We're alive. We're breathing in. We're breathing out. There's beauty in every direction if we are able to see it. So my goal with this music is to both excite the little sort of glimmers of life and also calm down. And remind people to connect to their hearts and to observe the beauty that's there, because that will fuel them and energize them and take some of that anxiousness, which is purely destructive, away, and help them really feel the bounty that is around all of us. So that is the service I am trying to provide with this album. I've been lucky enough to receive a lot of feedback with this album, and this is the feedback, is that people are feeling calmed and excited, and people are feeling served by this music. So I consider that the ultimate in success, when something is living its purpose.
Definitely many people out there are feeling stress, fatigue and anxiety. And your album's philosophy of making the world a better place is an excellent message. I see in the album notes that your production is alongside Denise Barbarita, Sergio Pereira. Tell us something more about your collaboration with them.
I feel like one of the luckiest people on the planet because I get to work with such amazing people. I mean, really, I feel so lucky. Some of the finest musicians in the world come and work with me and invite me to work with them, and I'm always humbled and feel very blessed to create with people who I admire and really love their work. Because my music is so spiritual for me and it's service-oriented, I really only work with people who are capable of giving in spiritual ways, like giving to the art, that infusing the art with their hearts. And by spiritual, I don't mean religious. I mean, people can be religious or not religious. That to me is a separate discussion. But the heart, to put your heart into something and to come with the positive form of ego and not the negative form of ego. So enough security and confidence to step forward and really show yourself, right? But not the kind of ego that makes you feel superior or get defensive or testy or anything like that. Though everybody is capable of this, and I believe nobody has the limitation that they can't get there, some people are ready now, and those are the people I like to work with. The people who are ready to give right now to the music with their whole hearts. Vibes are really important in music. When you have the right vibe in the creative process, it becomes part of the music, and it becomes part of the music as medicine, right? If you're doing art for service, music for service, it's music as medicine. And if that's the case, you need the right energy. It's like being an energy worker, right? And through audio, right? So if I'm trying to calm and soothe and excite at the same time, I need to have collaborators that are the same, as is everybody on this album. If they're involved with this album, they're incredible. So you can take that all the way. By looking at the liners, they're all incredible people. So I have a commitment to working with really great people. And I also really love Brazilian music. And Sergio does both Brazilian music and is an excellent human being. And he's very musical and very fun. And when we decided to do this project together, there was so much heart in it from the get-go, and trust and just easy, fluid connectivity. We were like drops in an ocean. And so Sergio and I were a natural musical fit, even though we were both doing other projects when this album was being made at the beginning. The generosity and the give and the take between us was almost like waves going back and forth. We just sort of worked with the world around us and the things we were doing, and it was an excellent. You couldn't have had this result without both of us working on it the way we did. Denise and I are friends and were colleagues in the Recording Academy community before we worked together. And one of the things that I really appreciated about Denise was, before we started working together and as we continued to work together, is that when we were talking about music and the language of music and things like the importance of silence and space and punctuating breathability around the sound and around lyrics and around the meaning or the intention of the song, that the sound quality and how we treat each aspect is part of the whole intention of the song. I would say that Denise and I share a sense of intentionality when we do our work. Like, we have real intention behind what we're doing, and we really think about it, and we really sit with it. And that is part of the spirit that we share with how to create. So as co-creators, we both really sat with the sound and the meaning and the purpose and the intention. And that, between the two of us, from our two different sides of the equation, really created a congruity with the whole purpose of the project and how it expressed itself and how it came into being. I'll reiterate what I said about Sergio, about Denise, that this album could not be what it is without Denise's input, without Denise's guidance, without Denise's aesthetic presence and thoughtful presence. So I think the three of us made a really strong team because we worked very well together, and we all brought our whole hearts to the project. And I think it's felt in the music. I feel it when I listen to it, and I feel very, very lucky to be able to work with such incredible people.
From what we listen as a result, we definitely can say that Sergio is a natural fit and Denise is speaking the same musical language.
Around if we seek it, we will find it everywhere.
Your career as a jazz singer started in New York jazz scene in your teenage years, then followed the Montreal International Jazz Festival, touring Japan, Carnegie Hall's neighborhood concert series, and so on. What is it that any of those gave you for enriching your professional career?
I have always loved jazz as long as I have known jazz. And before I had a name for jazz, I knew what jazz sounded like. I grew up in Manhattan, and the jazz scene was in my neighborhood. Jazz was in my environment. When I had a name for it and I learned some of the songs and I got out on the scene and I started making community when I was a teenager and I started following my bliss with jazz, I loved it so much and went so deep that I started having some wonderful opportunities to grow. I went to the world famous New School for Jazz and Contemporary Music when it was a new school. That program was brand new. I went in the 90s and studied with its originators, and I really grew a lot in that program and made lifelong friendships and colleagues there. And out of school, I was a rostered artist for Carnegie Hall's Neighborhood Concert Series for a couple of seasons, which was one of Carnegie Hall's outreach programs, putting music out in the communities, in community centers. And that was a wonderful experience as well. When I was 25, I made my first album independently released called Love, and it was all original music, all music that I wrote. One thing takes you to the next in building a career. I had been working around the scene in New York, and I was able to book myself the Montreal International Jazz Festival, did some wonderful tours, both in America and abroad. Some of them with some very famous and incredible jazz musicians. And all of that was part of the forge that created me. The first part of our life, we're absorbing and learning, and though we have an innate essence, we are learning ways to express it and ways to present this essence and work within the world amongst other people and their essences with our own authentic essence. I think this is what we call in our culture finding oneself or finding one's creative voice. It's not that we have to find the essence is there, and we all have sort of an innate understanding of the essence. We get to know it better as we are more introspective. So the finding part is really finding the medium of expression and the way we feel is most in harmony with our authentic self. And that is a journey. It's like trying on clothes, right? We have to go through many different styles of whatever that is, that styles of ways of communicating, ways of presenting ourselves. Sometimes it's literal styles of music or expressions to see what fully aligns. And sometimes it means we have to go out and try different things only to return to where we originally were. And in some way, on my journey in music, I did some of that. I am a jazz artist. At my core, I am a jazz artist, but I went out and experimented with different kinds of music so that I could return home to jazz knowing that that was where I was meant to be. And that's part of my journey. And so it took me a long time to get where I am today. I would say every day that we're alive, we are breathing and becoming and growing. Everything living is in a state of motion, and that is the way of life. So I do feel that I am expressing my essence in a state of authentic harmony at this time. I know that my essence will always be what it is, but my ability to express it will be continually refined as I live more and gain more tools and ways of expressing it. Every day there's new learning, and it's all impactful, which is exciting.
While I'm listening, I strongly believe you found your essence, Monika, and you also found your medium of expression, the jazz. But the journey never ends. And that's what makes it beautiful and challenging.
Fly away.
creative people like yourself always have set an eye on a new musical adventure. What is yours?
Oh, I love this question. Yes, there are always things on the horizon. There are always new frontiers to go out and explore. I usually work at least one record out, sometimes 2 records out. So when I was making Playfully, I was planning Alive. When I was making Alive, I was planning the next one, which is already done, which is called Sweetness. And that one is coming out in February, on February 21st. And on February 21st, I will be having a show, a concert at Mesro Jazz Club in New York. I know that's going to be a great concert, and I'm really excited to share that music with everybody. And after that, I have another project that I am in the process of writing. This will be another international global melting pot project, and it will be a jazz project. It's going to be beautiful, I'm sure. I love the artist that I'm collaborating with, both as a human being and as an artist. So this is going to be a lot of fun, and I'm sure it'll be loaded with love because everybody I work with is very, very loving.
From your excitement, I can feel that it is going to be an outstanding project.
Tonight, the mysteries of my heart, I promise to share. Hold me close, feel my heart beating. I give you my love, yours forevermore.
Thank you for stopping by, Monika. And now from the listeners of Light Lounge with Dimitri K, let's wish Monika Ryan success, and for those interested to purchase her new album, Alive, where is it available?
Thank you so much. It's been a real delight for me to be here with you. I really appreciate having this time together, and thank you for listening, everyone. Alive is streaming on all major platforms. It can be downloaded on the platforms that offer downloads. And if you go to my website, www.monikaryan, that's MONIKARYAN.com, that's monikaryan.com, you can purchase a CD of the album. I also have some really nice merch, some beautiful glasses and some hats and t-shirts and a really nice sweatshirt. You can also follow me on social media and join my mailing list and all of that wonderful stuff so we can stay in touch. Happy listening, everyone. I hope you feel wonderful and fully alive.
Thank you for your time, sharing your insights and collaborations, and the way you see music as a medium for a better world. We're listening in This Moment Forever, a song from Monika Ryan's album Alive.
I'm ignited forever. Waves of electricity, they swirl around and hurt me. I've never known anything quite as enveloping and full of.
Life is better than listening to a commercial radio station playing endlessly a few resembling songs. If you feel that way, you came at the right place. Light Lounge with Dimitri K plays the best award winners and independent artists around the world. Let's see who are our next guests tonight. Originally from the San Francisco Bay Area, Oakland, Las Vegas based, fans of Jimmy Century and the Modwave alternative holiday and genre-bending duo of vocalist voice actor Alicia Perrone and bassist producer video director Victor James. Welcome to Light Lounge with Dimitri K, Alicia and Victor.
Thank you, Dimitri. Good to be with you.
Yes, thanks so much.
You're welcome, and from your album, A Couple of Holiday Spirits, let's listen to Here Comes Christmas.
I know what you're gonna say. Go on and put those songs away. It's too early to celebrate all the drama of Christmas Day. I get why you're sinking and tired. The pressure builds up inside. Just feel like you did when you were a kid. Looking forward to Christmas time. It's been so long since I felt such bliss. Only Christmas makes me feel like this. On a joyride through the sky like kids. Only you can make the clouds all fade away. Here it comes. Here comes Christmas. You don't have to sell your soul. It's not found in a mall or a store. Save just for today. Get carried away. This feeling might bring you home. I know it gets lonely this season. Life's a rocky and crazy ride. This whisper of peace, forgotten down deep, gets louder at Christmas time. Here it comes. Here comes Christmas. Here it comes. Here comes Christmas. It's been so long since I felt such bliss. Only Christmas makes me feel like this. On a joyride through the sky like kids. Only you can make the clouds all fade. It's been so long since I felt such bliss. Only Christmas makes me feel like this. On a joyride through the sky like kids. Only you can make the clouds all fade away. Joy's gonna find its way right back in your heart someday. Don't waste this thrill ride. You're changing inside. Don't hold on to pain. It's never too late. Shine on like you did when you were a kid. Your love is still alive. I love you. I love you. I love you. It's been so long since I felt such bliss. Only Christmas makes me feel like this. On a joyride through the sky like kids. Only you can make the clouds all fade. Here it comes. Fly through the sky. Here it comes. Fly through the sky. Through the sky. Here it comes. Here comes Christmas. Here it comes. Here comes Christmas.
Your highly anticipated and family-friendly alternative holiday album, A Couple of Holiday Spirits, Halloween Perils and Christmas Carols, was released in July. Tell us something more about the adventure of creating the album.
You know, well, we already had a few Christmas songs done previously, and we've had good reactions from that. So we were thinking, you know what? no one's done an actual holiday album. I mean, they've done Christmas albums, but not kind of spanning, the majority of holidays. And so we were actually going to go after every holiday, but it ended up just being Christmas and Halloween, and that's why we were like, let's call it Holiday Spirits.
Yeah, I think, we're excited to release it because, to finally release a novelty holiday album. I feel like something was pulling us down that rabbit hole because our holiday songs have always been some of the most popular songs that we've had, especially on TikTok and platforms like that.
Even Spotify.
Yeah, and creating the album was exciting because I think we just connect well with young spirits and adults who forget to age or forget to act their age.
Yeah.
It was a natural progression into that.
Yeah, and we do a lot of comedy, and we have a lot of characters on our YouTube channel that we created, kind of started during the pandemic and just kind of carried over to everything else. So we just, have these characters we created, and so we're like, hey, let's make some Halloween Christmas characters.
Yeah, and that makes it even more of an adventure because creating the characters to match the songs, it definitely adds a very childlike element to it.
Yeah.
Combining two holidays and creating characters around it, novelty it is. Yes, I agree. We're listening to Wanna Be Dracula.
What am I doing wrong? I hate the sight of blood.
Suck it up!
But I want to be you.
No, you can't be me. I'm the OG. Watch me.
Mirror, and my selfies are getting clearer.
Where is your cape?
At the dry cleaners.
Why did you get your teeth fixed?
My dentist made me an offer I couldn't refuse.
Oh, you are a hot mess. I'm canceling you.
Your reviewers acknowledge that the album's strength lies in its fearless genre-bending punk rock energy combined with theatrical pop, creating a sound that's both chaotic and captivating. I will add that as long as the music brings excitement, the mission is accomplished. For me, the novelty element, the fusion of genres in your album is the one that creates the Jimmy Century signature. And what's important is that we can notice and acknowledge it. Was that the intention?
Yeah, I think the genre bender thing came from we do a lot of placements for TV and film, not writing specifically for it, but we do a lot of pitching of our own music to that, and we kind of started genre bending back then, and our previous band that was on Elektra Records with Rick Ocasek was our A&R guy. You know, that band started off as a punk rock band and then went to a pop band. And then this band started off as an electronic dance band, but we still had that need to kind of be punk and everything else. So I think it just and Alicia grew up in college singing jazz, so it just kind of all came to a big head where we're like, you know what, let's just do what we want. It's now 2024.
Yeah, I mean, truthfully, we don't even think of the genre when we're writing it. We whatever it comes out as is, you know, that's why we were lucky that a few years ago people started talking about genre benders, and we're like, oh, that's what we are.
Yeah.
So we kind of jumped on that. You know, we're an act that is on the fringe. You know, we have never really known quite where we fit in, especially now. And so, you know, lucky for us, genre bouncing and bending is kind of a thing. So yeah, we do, I think, wear that as a badge now, and we do like that people notice it, and we like it as a signature. It's not always great for targeting an audience, but I think this holiday album, because it's all holiday, and that's a genre in itself, then it afforded us the opportunity to create subgenres in the album.
And even go further and have a reggae and a punk and a couple jazz songs all mixed up in one, because it's all holiday.
Yeah, I think it was a blessing in disguise for us to put out a holiday album that could be everything. Also, I'm a voiceover artist, and I think all of the different characters that I voice, they come into play, because sometimes it's a Disney villain, sometimes it's a 9-year-old kid who's mad at her mom, you know, so it becomes all these different genres in our music. It all bleeds into our music.
Yeah.
So yeah, we do love that as a signature.
Exactly.
I don't think we intended to do that from the get, though. I think it became that. And like Victor said, because of writing songs for film and TV, writing to different pitches, saying that they needed a certain genre, that definitely contributed to that.
Yeah.
And when we look around and hear the music conversion for the last 10-20 years, there is purely not a single genre anymore. Everything becomes a melting pot.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You really are a heel. You're as cuddly as a cactus. You're as charming as an eel, Mr. Grinch. You're a bad banana with all.
Couple of Holiday Spirits album feels like a magical mystery tour, merged in dreams and reality. And since you are spending a lot of time performing, how is it met by the audience, specifically the short-time attention TikTok generation?
I think it's the whimsical characters.
That's that Friends quote when Freddie Prinze Jr. did the puppets for Rachel and Ross. Anyway, so yeah, I do think it's the characters that pull the TikTok generation in. The characters, and we finally learned how to pull little sound bites of songs, and you know, that really created a more sort of fantasy vibe.
Yeah.
We digress.
You know, I think that actually did help a lot, because it actually, you know, the younger generation, they like the weird voices that, you know, that Alicia comes up with because of being a voiceover artist. And we had a lot of like there was these 3 kind of reggae kids that picked up on Wanna Be Dracula and did this really cool dance, you know, and yeah,
they were doing all of these reggae TikToks, and I don't believe they're on there anymore, but they like the song, and that definitely contributed to Wanna Be Dracula.
Yeah.
So,
And
you
the
know,
Ice Queens, so you have a lot of different genre of people out there doing the Ice Queens thing. It just, whatever someone's feeling that day, they just have a good time with Ice Queens or Scream Queens, you know, which is depending on which holiday they're going for. So we haven't actually performed this album live, except for we performed a few songs at our wedding. What we're planning on doing, though, is actually doing start doing a huge show with a lot of dancers and characters, and doing a 4-month-a-year tour, doing, you know, basically all the way from Halloween all the way through Christmas, and doing a holiday spirits tour. So then we'll actually get a lot of stuff. But everyone at our wedding, and there was about 400 people there who loved it, and it was great. And stuff and the people that we've actually performed live online as a band doing the songs have all the videos have done great. So it looks like everyone's loving it. So I hope it goes over even more amazing than it has.
Well, there is always audience for the right music, and you obviously found yours. Listening to Bright of Frankie.
In a castle on a stormy night, he proposed in a pale moonlight. Our love was made in a lab. It wasn't love at first sight, but it wasn't half bad.
I like the Mendelssohn Wedding March included in the Melting Pot as we spoke. But right now, tell us something more about the people you work with to bring this lively, festive, contagiously melodic album to fruition.
So, regarding the album, Victor writes all of the music, and I do all the lyrics and melodies. And we come together, get everything written, and then we bring in our drummer Mike, and he performed on some of the tracks. And we actually met this wonderful erhu player about 6 months ago, Lee Dang, and he came over and played the erhu on one of the songs, Beatnik Holiday.
Who doesn't speak any English, by the way, and so his
son
had to
to
come over and translate.
And it was amazing, and he's going to be in the video with us, and he's back in China right now, but he's going to be coming back to do our video. And as far as bringing some of the songs to life, our dancers, Naya Hayes and Bree McKee, they create the dances to them, and that contributes to the production and to TikTok videos.
Yeah.
And then we have a great marketing team. We have Zetaverse, Zeta Empire, working on our marketing. We have Bentley Records, and they're great support, great family.
Our own record company.
AWOL, Sony, they're incredible. So everybody has contributed to, you know, making this album have some legs, some hairy spider legs, I like to call it. And, you know, our friends and fans who have bought the album, everyone came to the record release, and everybody has contributed, and we're really grateful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I played most of the instruments on the album, but there was a few guitar parts, because I'm more of a bass player than a guitar player, that some of our good friends here in Vegas stepped up, that are, you know, that do the big, you know, Cirque shows and that kind of stuff, and they came in and got the guitar parts that I just couldn't quite handle. But now learning them while we're playing them live is not fun.
Yeah, and I that's funny. And I have to give some credit also to some of the people I do voiceovers for, because they have indirectly created characters that ended up in some of these songs.
Yeah, don't say that.
No, I mean, no, the inspiration for them. And someone else that I have to give a shout out to on our team is Annalie Adolphson. Her photography on this album and to promote this whole album. And on the CD cover, it's become a big part of it because the image has really, really branded this album.
Yeah.
She's an incredible photographer, and we're really grateful to her for that.
And our 77 Cutlass that we're sitting in the back seat of in the picture.
Well done from all involved. Congrats.
He's no good. Hope he don't get on the mic.
Are the young ones coming? You know, Freddie, Jason, Pinhead, aka the Three Stooges.
The Bloody Mary mix.
Your album is coming just on time for the holidays, Halloween and Christmas. What is the next creative avenue for Alicia and Victor?
The next creative avenue will be the show, working on the show. It'll be quite the production. Like our other shows, we had a show here in Vegas called Fatale Original, where we had, it was basically 3 stages in the room. When we had us on the main stage, another band on the side stage, and then performers pretty much all over the room, and people hanging from the ceilings and that kind of stuff. It'll be that same kind of vibe, except for more with monster costumes and Santa Claus costumes, and so that's gonna take a while. After we get done marketing it, then it's pretty much get back in the studio and work on that, and then start touring, at least 4 months out of the year.
Yeah, and it'll be fun to work again with Grant Filippo and the Las Vegas Showgirl Museum. He costumes so many of our video shoots, productions, and that'll be a fun thing to kick that back up and really, design the show. We would love to work with a stage manager this time and a creative director to really, hone it all in, because usually we're doing all this ourselves, and it would be nice to have some input and.
Yeah, like with Fatale Original, there was probably 20 people in the show, and then trying to play and stage manage was not fun, but this time it'll be different.
Yeah.
From a couple of people on the show up to 20 or more, the show is really getting on another dimension, and congrats for that. As I understand, your album this year has another destination too. Let's hear about it.
Right, so we wrote this album with kids and children in mind, and then hoping that it would also connect with adults lyrically, and we submitted it into the Best Children's Music Album category.
Yeah, and if anyone wants to check out the rest of the album and the FYC page, you can just go to FOJC.tv.
Such is life with a real live witch. How can it be so wrong? How can it be so right? How can it be so wrong when you're the cat of a real live witch? I'm in love with her and she loves me back. The charmed life of a lucky black cat. She's my cat lady and I'm a little brat for all 9 lives. It's always Halloween at my house. It's Halloween at my house. Every day's Halloween, but we won't hurt you.
Thank you for coming on the show, Alicia and Victor. I'm pretty sure with your album you already have set up the holidays mood. And now from the listeners of Light Lounge with Dimitri K, let's wish Alicia and Victor success. And for those interested to purchase their album, Couple of Holiday Spirits, where is it available?
On all the streaming sites that that anyone gets on, Spotify and that kind of stuff. For a purchase, it's only digital right now. It will be pressed up in about a month and a half, and then you can actually order it up from our website or probably a few other outlets. But if you want to buy the digital copy, it would be the basic outlets: Amazon, iTunes, Bandcamp, our website, of course. And any place that else sells digital downloads.
Yeah, and it debuted at #1 holiday album on iTunes.
Sales.
And in sales
and on Amazon.
And on Amazon as a hot new release. And then Billboard surprised us with a Billboard Top 10 charting in comedy albums, which was really interesting to us because we wrote it, and unexpected because we wrote it as a children's music album / holiday album. So that was exciting and different. And
it was number 6 on Billboard, and then it was also number 17 on Billboard in digital album sales the week it came out. So that was exciting. That was our first real good time of being in the top 10 and top 20 of Billboard.
And thank you, Dimitri, for having us. This has been fun.
Yes, thanks a lot.
We'll see you soon.
Yeah.
You are so welcome. You're listening to Light Lounge with Dimitri K. It's time to say goodbye. And remember, hesitation is temporary, music lasts forever. Most of the artists you heard on this show are independent artists. And if you like some of them, you can Google the name and find them on Spotify, iTunes, Amazon, and the rest of the digital media, and that would be a great support for them. For any comments, suggestions and feedback, please email me at kopublishing@gmail.com. I'm Dimitri K, broadcasting from the city beautiful Orlando, Florida.
Hey John, is that the blue cat you're talking about?